Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Hi. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So I just want to introduce you. You're Sarah, and you've worked with me on my program and to work on yourself, your body, your health. Um, can you
Mhm.
share with us? Can you share with me where you were before you? And you don't have to go into massive detail, but just give a summary of where you were before you began working with me.
Um, well, I guess in terms of the way I felt about myself, my body, my confidence, all that kind of thing was not great. I wasn't in a great place. I've kind of never really been particularly happy with like my body shape and um I'm a dance teacher, so I've always considered myself relatively fit, but always felt like I should probably be fitter and healthier than I am. And I've talked to you before about like feeling this kind of pressure to maybe like look a certain way. So I just my confidence was fairly low with regards to how I felt I looked. Um, and then yeah, to be honest, like some well, I had a baby. I've got almost 7 month old now, so my life kind of like was flipped upside down with that. And then like some pretty tough things went on kind of earlier this year, and I think that was a bit of a turning point for me to be like, let's sort my shit out now, sort of thing. So yeah, it was. I was in a, I don't want to say like a really low place, but certainly I felt like there was some big changes that I wanted to make. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And with your you reaching out to me, where
Mm.
did you? What made you feel like this was the way you wanted to work? Like you wanted to work on your body, but did you realize you needed to work more than just the what you're eating and how you're moving your body? Did you feel like there was more that you needed, or was that where you wanted to start?
I knew that there was more that I needed. So I remember when like some, the hard, I hit some hard times, and I remember your email pinging through to me with the sort of like description of the program and what it is you do and all that, and reading it, and just honestly, it was just like some sort of like light bulb moment of I just was like, oh my god, like that is absolutely what I need right now. And what appealed to me was not just the fact that it's the was the training and the eating and guidance with that, which is definitely what I felt like I needed, but also talking about the coaching and the kind of helping to work through um stuff in my head and all that. So yeah, like I really felt that I at that point in my life I needed that whole package. And
Yeah,
that was what, because I've thought to myself over the years, like, oh yeah, I could get a personal trainer. I've got friends that are personal trainers. Like that's an easy thing I could have always done. I never have. I don't really know why I never did, but there was just something different about your advert or your thing that came to me that I was like, yeah, like that's just what I need right now. I just
you had a
knew,
gut
yeah,
instinct.
yeah.
Yeah, that's good. And what out of all the things you've done, you've like self work on yourself, what would you say has really worked for you? I mean, there's probably tons of things, right? But if you could pick like one or two things to share out of the things you've been doing that has made a real difference to your life.
Um, Sorry. Okay. She got milk on the go. No. Inversion. This is motherhood.
Absolutely.
We're just going to now have formula being made in the background there.
That's okay.
um, Specific things that I think really works for me. Yeah, no, there are loads, definitely. I really liked that. I liked that things were kind of broken down week by week. So obviously, having like a module week by week made it feel more manageable, I guess, rather than just like, here's everything, this is everything you need to do, crack on now and off you go, so we'll catch up in 8 weeks or whatever. It was like, no, like mini, you always talked about like micro changes, so that definitely made it feel more manageable for me. And I liked as well, like, so if something maybe wasn't quite working for me, I'm really sorry, I've got Marley on the bed there now. If something wasn't quite working for me, like I knew I'd come to you and say, this is how things are going. I'm struggling with this. I definitely, for me, like I really liked having you kind of like on tap, as kind of a bit bad as that sounds, but like I knew that you were always, I could just, drop you a message or give you a ring, and we had our weekly check-ins, and like that's something I really need, is like someone there and kind of like, yeah, on tap for me.
Great. So you've frozen just for a moment, your face, but your voice is coming through still. Can you hear me? Welcome back, Sarah. Sorry we lost you for a moment. Just to pick up where we were, you were talking about having the information broken up into chunks, so that it was moduled weekly and accessible, so you can listen to the information and read some of the information, and you have availability to check in with me, I hold you accountable. So tell me a little bit more. Did that format work for you, listening to content, having me available and encouraging you and holding you accountable to the things you're saying you're going to do?
Yeah, like 100%, because I am one of these people. I think I'm better at self-motivating now, for sure, but certainly when I started out this, like my self-motivation was poor, like, and I kind of, yeah, I need someone like on me, and like, that's not, it wasn't like an overbearing, but you know what I mean, I felt like it was the perfect level of, I knew you were there and pushing me and encouraging me and there to support me, but at the same time like helping me build the skills to eventually like do those things for myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that, absolutely, like having that level of support for me was really important and really helpful. And also just with regards to the modules and the content that you would like release every week, I really liked, this is the teacher in me now, but I really also liked like the variety of content. So that like there'd be a mixture of obviously like audio stuff, so like you talking over the videos and things to listen to, but also like images to look at, written text, like bits to read, video clips. Like I found that really helpful, rather than just it all being things just to read, because to be honest, like I don't know, if it was all like podcast style or whatever, like yeah, I probably would have listened to it, but I don't think I would have engaged with it as much. But if it's like, yeah, okay, watch that little video, now I'm going to read this little section, now I'm just going to have a listen to this thing whilst I'm cracking on with that, or so that worked really well for me as well, a nice variety of stuff.
Okay, well that nicely leads into to me asking what would you say you enjoyed like one or two things that you felt you really enjoyed doing? Because there are some things that were tough, right? You had to face some stuff in your life to
Oh my God, yeah.
bust some limiting beliefs about yourself. But because that journey can be uncomfortable. But
Mm.
was that partly enjoyable as well as uncomfortable? What would you say if you're going to say what was really enjoyable? Oh, bless you.
Thank you. um, I get like, yeah, I mean there definitely was some really tough challenges that I faced along the way. Um, but at the same time, like the feeling of tackling those head on is really rewarding. Um, so I think it's fair to say like that is something in a weird kind of way like I did quite enjoy, not just like, you know, because you kind of in the loveliest way possible like made me face those things that probably, you know, and address stuff that I'd probably kind of ignored for years and years. That's where like obviously the coaching comes in, and that's why that's such a important part that goes hand in hand with the training and the nutrition and stuff. But yeah, so feeling like I was actually probably for the first time ever like really digging deep and addressing those things, and then coming out the other side of it, that was definitely enjoyable. In the end, maybe not at the time, but now I look back on it, definitely. And I can't remember if I already said this, but um, as well for me, something I really liked was like if I had a struggle or something that I would say to you, like I'm finding this thing really hard. So if it like, you know, how it's now now I say it out loud, I think back and I'm like, how did I find drinking water such a massive deal? Like it's so ridiculous and pathetic, but for me that was honestly such a big challenge, was just drinking enough bloody water. And it took me a good while to get to, and now I'm like, it's a piece of piss. I do it no problem. um, but what was really good was I'd come to you and I'd say, I'm finding this thing like impossible. I'm really struggling with it. And you would give me several ways to tackle it. So it wouldn't just be, you just need to keep trying, like you just need to drink it. You would actually be like, okay, have you tried, you know, try drinking it warm, or um, keep a, you know, a little log on your wall with like a chart of every time you drink it, or, you know, and there'd be all these different things to try. And it's like, yeah, eventually one of those things is going to work. Um, so yeah,
Having
I
strategies
found that.
is definitely
Yeah,
having strategies.
definitely.
And just because one works for one person, it doesn't mean it's going to work for another. And me telling you just to do it, um, although I'd love that, I can just say, just do this and
Yeah.
do it. You definitely have some clients that do that, but there are some that there's a large part of a population that have to do some rewiring to create a new habit. So that's great. Thank you for sharing that. You talked about at the beginning, you talked about that you recently had, in the last 7 months or so, you had a baby. Can you expand your where you feel, what you felt like in your body before you were pregnant and maybe entering into pregnancy? Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
Related to, just so we can get a flavour of understanding of whether you're where you were when you came to me was as a because you've had a baby, or whether they related to, that feeling was related to ongoing body relationship for you.
Mm. Um, so yeah, I mean, so before I had Marley, like I said, like I mean, I'm pretty much talking about my entire like adolescent and then adult life, I've not been happy with my body shape. Funnily enough, whilst I was pregnant with Marley, that's probably the best I've felt about my body for some time. I mean, I ended up like losing quite a lot of weight in my pregnancy, and I don't know, I felt fairly good about my body at that point. But then after having Marley, you know, and then everything just kind of like goes back to just saggy and horrible. I don't know. So it wasn't because of having a baby that I decided to do this. But I think it's fair to say, like, one of the big motivations for me was obviously being a mum now. I want to be a fit, healthy mum for her, and a role model as she's growing up. And I wanted to feel confident and like just great and happy within myself, kind of starting on this new journey in my life. So it was one of the contributing factors, but it certainly wasn't the reason why I did it. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons, to be fair.
Yeah, no, that's good. And do you feel you dealt with many of your things that were from your layers of beliefs, layers of life experience, layers of things that people have said to you? Do you think you've worked through many, and do you think there are things that you still need to work through? And do you feel, there's 3 questions here, and do you feel you've had the tools to still be able to work through them to continue on your journey? So have you addressed them all? Do you feel like, is there stuff still that you know that, yeah, I'm going to address that? And do you feel you got the tools?
Yeah, so I definitely feel like I feel like I worked through a lot of the stuff. You know, the reality is, and this is not in any way a diss on the program or anything, it's just the way it is like you're never gonna properly tackle everything in 8 weeks. You're just not,
exactly,
like to the extent that you would want to. So yeah, for sure there is still work that I need to do and want to do on certain things, and yeah, I absolutely feel that I've got those tools now, and I know kind of what things I need to keep working on and how to do that. And that's obviously like a big, that's where the meditation stuff massively comes in. And again, like that is really something that I struggled to get on board with for quite a long time. I do think, looking back, I probably met that with some resistance, unintentionally, but you know, because it was such a new concept for me. And I probably had some like preconceived, really wrong, unfair ideas around what meditation was and all this. But again, now, like, that's something, you know, it's become a habit, and it's just an ingrained part of my day, and that's my real opportunity to kind of mull things over and keep doing the work on the stuff in my life, I guess, that I know I need to keep focusing on. Yeah,
that's great. And so you said 8 weeks, so that because of this, of what I understood and working with women, I've extended it to 12 weeks now. Okay. So that it means that women can go a little bit deeper, you have a bit longer time. So I appreciate that, because I personally felt 8 weeks when I work with women, I just felt like I didn't necessarily want to let them go. And that's, you know, I kept you in the group for longer, and I've still, you know, kept you, supported you beyond 8 weeks. for that reason, really, because I understand the journey. Well, the journey is a lifelong journey, right? It's just you need to start somewhere and immerse yourself. Do you feel you immersed yourself on your journey?
Yes. I think I mostly did. I think I would be lying to myself if I said that there weren't moments where I probably could have given that bit more. I mean, you know, I feel like I have seen and am seeing some really positive results out of this. So that says to me, yeah, like I've clearly, you know, I'm doing something right. Yeah, I do think I threw myself into it. Everyone's gonna have little weak moments, or moments where it, you know, you feel like the novelty starts wearing off a little bit, or it's just, oh god, it's tough, because it is tough. But the fact that I always got back on it, I think that's the important thing. I always felt motivated to just get back on it. Again, that's what, like, I honestly don't think I could have done that without you there, like your support, to encourage me to get back on it, because that's where I've failed in the past. It's like, it's just, you know, you give up on yourself and then that's it. It's like, oh well, it's not worked, I'm done. But that's been the difference this time, is having your support with it to always just make me believe in myself that actually, no, I can do it, and I am doing it.
Yeah. That's really good. So that makes me, that leads me to ask a question, like, you know, trying to think of what you'd said. You're on the journey, and, you know, you've had my support, but do you feel like, so where are you, before I get to that question, actually, where are you now? Like, so we're 12 weeks on now. Exactly, I think this week. And where would you say you feel you are in your journey? Because there's no arriving, right? You don't. You are on a journey. You're 12 weeks into your journey, and do you feel you're well and truly on your journey? And you have you know, I'm not having any sessions with you one-to-one. Do you feel like you're flying, you've got wings, you've grown wings, and you can do this?
Yeah, I've got wings. I think I've got wings. Yeah, no, I feel I'm, like you said, there's no sort of like end point really, because it is very much an ongoing thing. So, you know, I'm not where I want to be yet, not even close, but I feel like, well, that's okay, because I'm absolutely heading in the right direction. And I feel like I've formed so many new habits that just are, well, they're not even habits, it's just me now. It's just my routine, it's my lifestyle.
Identity. Is it part of your identity?
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, yeah, just things like my eating habits now. It's like I don't even have to really think about it. It's like the way I shop for food has become so different. The way I prepare food, the types of things I cook, you know, the drinking the water, like it's all just stuff that is just ingrained now. You know, whereas before it's like you're making quite a conscious effort to make those changes. It's just like, no, it's just,
that's it. And you cook now, because before you weren't really cooking so much before.
Oh yeah. Oh, can I tell you something Craig said to me the other day that I was like, what? It was like, because yeah, normally obviously I told you he would always cook, but I do like a few dinners a week. He still cooks sometimes, but yeah, he was like, yeah, like if you carry on cooking delicious meals like this, you're gonna be bloody like talking yourself into cooking all the time, basically. And I was like, yeah, man. I mean, it's proper simple stuff that I cook. To be fair, it's not anything remotely like fancy. But the fact that I'm doing it, and it's all healthy stuff, and he's really enjoying it as well. Because for a while, it was like I was obviously doing my quite specific eating plan stuff, and he was just carrying on having like the kind of stuff that we would normally have together. So we were eating separate meals and therefore like cooking our own stuff, and it felt a little bit rubbish for a while because it was like, it's nice to like eat the same thing, but now it's at the point where he's getting quite on board with, so a lot of the new stuff I'm having as well. So we can kind of cook together and have the same stuff, which is good. I've gone off on a tangent there.
No, that's good. But that just sounds like your relationship has really blossomed too. Do you feel more confident and comfortable in your relationship with him, and just in yourself, feeling ready to go back to work? And I know we're in lockdown right now, which has, for some people has really taken its toll on relationships, taken its toll on confidence. Where would you, talking about your relationship, just in real, like, dead simple, I don't want to be delving into your private life, but I know that was one area of your life that was something you wanted to change. Do you feel it's in a better place?
Yeah, no, I definitely do, and I'm pretty sure Craig would say the same as well. Again, I'm not saying it's like it's perfect or what relationship is, but I'm not, there's still a way for us to go. But yeah, no, I feel like it's absolutely in a better place than it was, and we're continuing to make it even better still. So there's definitely a positive, yeah, for sure, that's come out of that.
Oh, that's great, and thanks for sharing that. And during the time that you was working with me, I didn't get you didn't always share. So I knew you were on a journey. You told me certain things, but I want to let everybody know that people know that you don't have to share certain things you're working through, because I think some things you did tell me, it took some time for you to share certain things, but I still supported you through, regardless of whether I knew the details or not. And even there were certain things to do with your, that you were working through, I've never known about, because you chose to work through them and share just that you were working through things. So I suppose what I'm asking is, did that feel the right approach for you? Or do you feel like you could have, because I didn't push you to share certain things, because I can see when somebody's needing that space to do it on their own. Whereas I have some clients that will tell me everything, and I'll guide through. What did that work for you, doing it like that, where you went within and you resolved, you felt you had the tools, and I would guide you through certain things. You'd have the modules to help you and guide you, and our check-in points every week. Did that work that way for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because I think, had it have been that you were, I don't know, if you were trying to kind of almost like coax stuff out of me and push me into sharing and stuff, I think probably for myself and a lot of people, that almost kind of sends you the other way. It's like, no, I'll do it my own time if I want to at all. I think you were really like sensitive and respectful of that like you say, you knew that there's stuff going on for me and stuff that I wanted to work on, but it's like, okay, like, I knew that you were there to listen and support me if I felt I wanted to share stuff. And as you say, like over time I did share some things with you, like just off my own back. I felt like I I wanted to do that because maybe then I'd get a bit more out of the program. But yeah, and I never felt like pushed to do that. And it was nice just knowing that, yeah, you were there if and when I felt ready to do those things. Yeah, definitely the right approach, 100%.
Great. And just the last few questions. Did you, getting to when we got towards the end of the program, and we did the measurements a little after, because we started, well, all of it's been online, and we wanted to give a little bit more time, so we did, I think we did all your measurements at the beginning, and then we did measurements at week 10. And I was blown away by your achievement, and you were really anxious a little bit, I suppose. Although, you know, my whole thing is not transform and change, you know, shred, you know, it's not about that. But you got some pretty good results. What can you share how you feel about from where you've come from when you 8 to 10 weeks before, and where you have arrived even now, 12 weeks? What if you were going to explain in really simple words, and what would encapsulate your experience, what would you say your experience and where you've arrived, where you are right now? Not arrived, I'm trying not to use that word, because what point you've arrived at right now? Is it huge? Is it transformational? Is it you think of your words, where are you right now compared to that point you were 12 weeks ago?
I think it has been transformational in a lot of ways, because I'm doing stuff that I honestly never thought I had in me to do, like the training and stuff, the type of training that I'm now doing, and you know, I'm doing it 6 mornings a week. I'm really enjoying doing it. Like, I never thought I would ever do that. You know, and like dumbbells and barbells and all that, that's just so not. So yeah, it's transformational in a lot of ways. Where I'm at now, I feel just like in a really good, positive place. Like I say, I recognise that there is still work to be done, and there's still a way to go. But I feel confident that I know what it is I need to do now.
Yeah.
I don't feel so lost and like clueless as to like how to achieve the things that I want to achieve, and I feel confident that I can do it. I guess my self-belief is a lot higher than it was at the start.
Okay, and what about your energy levels? Like twofold here, not energy, so your connection to your energy. So we talk a little bit about your frequency that we live on and your energy. Have you, because that all feeds into your beliefs and feeling like you're living life in less just 3D manner, but holistically. Has that helped you change your mindset about yourself and what you do and your life here on planet Earth?
I'll be totally honest, a bit. I do think that's still probably an area. It's an area that I'm interested to look into more, because if I'm honest, I don't feel like I fully like get it yet. I know obviously you said to me like you recommended when I finished the 8 weeks, you said like it's so worth just, you know, go back over all the modules, like you'll hear things differently, you'll read things differently. And I haven't done that yet. But that's something, yeah, it's something I would like to be more on board with, because I can see that there's value in it, you know, in enhancing my experience and how I feel and all those things even more. But yeah, I think it's fair to say I'm probably not fully with that part yet.
Yeah, embracing it. Although you're
Yeah.
already exercising it by even acknowledging that your beliefs are dictating your thoughts, and your thoughts are really all ingrained in every cell of you, and take you into your action, which gets you into change. And so even though you don't necessarily fully embrace it, because that's the reason why I'm asking, because a lot of people do find like this whole area a little different. It's not taught in school. It's, you know, it's something that we believe when we're younger, before we even enter into school. And then institutions, we just believe much more in the 3D world. And actually, dare I say this, but we don't believe in our esoteric powers, that we have got abilities to really actually have our ownership of our own life, and ownership of our what our energy creates and how we heal ourselves. And I only touch on this because we only touch on this in the program, because that's what I want to help hold people, to guide them into that kind of realm. But that's not what the whole program's about. The program touches on it and introduces you to it. And did it feel too woo-woo, or was it just enough to introduce you so that you can go off and work more? Because I actually, on the 12 weeks, because I've added 4 more weeks, that I've had, well, actually, yeah, 4 more weeks. So I've added more on this, a little bit, just drip feeding more in. Do you think that's something that would have made a difference to how you feel about energy and living in a particular frequency?
To me personally, honestly, like, no, I kind of found it probably about enough.
Yeah.
That, you know, like you say, you touched on it, and you've given me an awareness of it and a bit of information to kind of like, okay, like I've got an idea, and now if I want to go find out more about that, I know that I can do that. But yeah, I love that you use the term woo woo. I think it's great. We use that word a lot here. Yeah, I think had there have been a lot more on it, or heavier stuff on it, perhaps I would have found it a bit much. Only because maybe I'm not ready to fully embrace that just yet. You know, that's not to say I never will, but not it. I might have found it a bit much too soon, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. I think, and I use the meditation as your gateway, and helping you to understand thought and belief is, you know, the overlap between science, psychology, and energy. And because the worlds meet, really, science and spirituality is more and more every day being shown and proven that there is so much more to us than just our 3D body. So no, that's great. Thank you for sharing that, and being so honest as well. Would you recommend somebody, any of your friends or family, to work with me and go through this, if you could see that they too were experiencing or feeling the way you were when you came across how I was working?
Yeah, man. Yeah, of course, of course. Like, I honestly, I only have like really great positive things to say about it. So yeah, like, I absolutely, if I thought someone, needed some guidance and support with, stuff, whatever that might be, yeah, absolutely. I'll send them your way for sure.
Oh, that's great. Thank you, Sarah. And did working online make any difference?
Working online,
Yeah. Did it make a difference to the
um,
experience, or did you feel it didn't, it wasn't make a deal, it didn't make a difference? Did it enhance by having having other people that are going through the program too? So you're not going through it on your own.
hmm,
What experience was that like?
um, oh yeah, I found the online stuff really. I definitely, I'm loving the, like, having the recordings of the training sessions and stuff. That's been really good. Um, because obviously sometimes I would do your live online sessions, um, but yeah, having that to kind of, that you can keep going back to them or do them at a time that's, a bit more convenient or whatever. That's been invaluable. Um, and yeah, obviously I've been part of the Facebook group. Like, that's been really nice to kind of, yeah, like you said, I have that kind of extra support in the group of people that are going through it at the same time. Um, like sharing, um, like sharing our wins, sharing challenges, sharing recipes. All that stuff's been really good. Um, I don't think doing it online has made any difference. I guess the only thing I can really think of that maybe it would have been, I would have preferred if it could have been in person, was the measurements, just because you saw how bloody long it took me to try and do my own measurements. But that, it's one of those things. It's certainly
Well,
not
that
an
now you know how to
appreciation.
do it, right?
Now I know how to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah, so
Um,
it's about autonomy and
yeah.
you having the ability to do these things, having the skills and confidence that you can do this on your own. And it's nice to have somebody to check in on with you. But, your journey, we come alone, we leave alone, right? And then we're here with people around us. But when you just busy as a mother, you're working, um, being able to just know that you've got everything you need within you to just get things done, and is it's like a new sense of freedom.
Mm.
Do you feel freer?
Yes. Like, how? Explain to me.
Do you feel
What do you mean?
like, would you feel you've created freedom from your mind of the things you may have been telling yourself before? Do you
Yeah.
feel freer from your the things that were related to your body image? Do you feel that they have kind of been released?
I feel like they're getting released. They've not buggered off completely. They're still around, or they still pop back from time to time, but they're getting shifted out. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're aware, that's the key thing,
Mm,
right? And you know how
mm,
to work through them. And it is work. We're all a work in progress. It's so much that I still am working through on a day-to-day basis. And that's how I can do this, because I'm walking the path, and
mhm,
I'm no perfection. Yes, I might enjoy training, I might, you do too, but there is so much in my head that can hold us all back. I am no different to any other human being. It's just how we navigate it and how we um, quash those things and change those things that are holding us into something different to help us on our journey. Uh, I think that's fantastic. You've shared all that and been so honest, Sarah. I really, really appreciate you spending some time to talk to me and giving me some feedback. And it's really beautiful. It's been wonderful working with you, seeing you blossom and grow over this time, and just a privilege. A thank you for letting me into your life to be able to help shift you in these ways, and encourage you and keep you and support you on your journey, because I'm not going anywhere. You have definitely got me for a long time to keep you on your path, and there will be other, I'll move you into another support group so that you can keep being supported with other people that I've worked with, and you'll still have access to all the modules. So you, even if you've not gone through the stuff, you've got access to that. So that's not going anywhere. And
Brilliant.
yeah. So you'll have, like, whenever you're ready to go through stuff, because when new stuff comes up, you might want to just think, okay, I need to just refresh myself here. So that's what it's all about, you investing your time and into having tools so you don't feel lost when new stuff comes up, because that's what happens in life. New things happen, some things change, but it's about having things to keep you on your journey, and living at your best and getting to you to live in joy, and not settled for just getting through a day, surviving. You want to be thriving and feeling alive and happy. Would you feel, do you feel like you're getting there with thriving?
Getting there, absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. And how happy would you say, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you right now?
Right now, I would say a good strong 7.5.
What would
Which I think,
take you to 10?
um, I guess, like, I don't know. I'd like to, give it a bit more time when, I've kept up with the eating, and I've kept up with the training, and I'm looking a bit more towards my sort of goal body shape and stuff. That would definitely help.
What about happy
Being
inside yourself, though? Happy inside yourself.
I think just, you talked about, like, being free and freeing myself of the thing, the negative,
The chatter.
whatever. Yeah, I guess once I'm at a point where I do feel free, and it's all been squashed, it's gone. That would,
Yeah.
that would be happy.
Yeah, it's peace, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's about keeping on, using those as your drivers to stay on your journey. And I try not to use the word motivation, because I think motivation is outside of yourself. But actually, when it's inside, you have intrinsic drivers, and it inspires you to stay on your journey, in desire of feeling peace and feeling free. And that's, the external look of your body, as well as the peace you feel inside yourself, right? So well done for starting this journey and being well and truly in it, and immersed and committed to yourself, and saying yes to start with, to yourself. And so, thank you. I know we said thank you and then I asked you another question. But I can't thank you enough. It's been a really pleasure working with you. And so thank you for sharing.
No worries. Thank you very much for just everything. It's honestly, I've loved it. I am loving it, and it's massively down to you. So thank you. Like, genuinely could not have got to where I am now without you. So I feel very blessed that you came into my life.
Thank you, Sarah. That's beautiful. I'll see you soon.
You will indeed. All right. Thanks very much, Bersha.
Thank you.